Iowa State women's basketball finally got somebody from the transfer portal. Finally. I mean, they lost 5 players to the transfer portal, including 2 starters. And they lost 2 players to the WNBA draft, which, granted, Ashley Jones was already going to be going no matter what. Stephanie Soares, she would have came back, but couldn't waiver. It's a Division II All-American, which I know they took a chance on an NAIA player last year in Stephanie Soares, so that really paid off. It's just a matter of does the Division II transfer pay off. At 4 years at Truman State, Hannah Belanger scored 1,832 points. So she did average 21.3 points per game in 32.5 minutes per game. 47.1% from 3 on 210 attempts. 85.6% from the free throw line on 104 attempts. 4.2 rebounds per game. 1.4 fouls per game. 2.1 assists per game. Now as for turnovers, 1.8 turnovers per game. Blocks, you don't have, I mean, .2, so really not much there. But as you can tell, in front of the field, even 51.7%. So this is a solid pickup. It's just how much of a transition is she going to have between Division II to Division I? It's a little bit faster at the next level, and maybe same thing goes for size as well. But I mean, she's a 5'8" guard, which the size at guard is practically the same. It's just the speed of the game. How's she going to fare? And I'm going to go look. I know how many players did they have last year, and they lost 10 players overall. And you just add 6 now because of this transfer. How many scholarships do they have available? That's the big question. This addition definitely helps, but I will say I'm not sure they're going to be above Baylor next year. I'm not being a homer on that either. I mean, it got 10 deep. I mean, for next year already, and they have 3 solid transfers. And with the 14-player roster, which could be knocked down to 13 if somebody else transfers out, but that's besides the point. And Texas is going to be right there next year too. They don't hardly lose anybody. 2 in the transfer portal, and 1 graduation. That's it. So Iowa State last year had, let me look, overall amount of players. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's including 1 player that medically retired, so technically 10. And they did lose 7, and they're getting 5, so 9 players right now. Not a lot of depth, to say the least. Because remember, they did lose a lot of players to the transfer portal. I mean, yeah, technically 10. Yeah, 3, then add 5, and add 1 more with this transfer. Yep, it's just 9. That's gonna be there's gonna be probably a few more transfers, but I would think at least 1 more, if not 2, because they need it in the worst way. Because in order to make deeper runs in the NCAA tournament, or even think about competing for the top half of the Big 12, they're going to have to add some transfers. So, and we know that BYU is coming in with second year head coach, as well as Cincinnati's got a new head coach. TCU has a new head coach. West Virginia has a new head coach. I mean, Houston's the only one with the stability at head coach. BYU has another head coach. BYU has a second year head coach. So there's still some turnover there, and Oklahoma State's going to take a step back too, as well as Oklahoma. And I know they gained Lexi Keys, but it's hard to replace 3 starters. Yeah, the players from Iowa State that have entered the transfer portal at this point are Lexi Donarski, Maggie Spinmiller McGraw, Danae Fritz, Morgan Kane, and Maggie Vick. Yeah, they did not add anybody until today. So, I mean, they only have 9 players. They need more, because in order to be one of the better teams in the conference, you got to have depth. And they don't have it. I mean, that's the truth. And they're going to be somewhat young as well. I mean, with a lot of new faces. I mean, 5 freshmen. And then add a transfer. But that transfer is only going to be good for 1 year. The good news is they still have Emily Ryan. But after next year, she's done. If she doesn't want to use her COVID year. She does have that working in her favor. Same thing goes for Namardu as well. So those two, they technically have 1 more year if they want to. It's a matter of will they. So it's going to be interesting in the Big 12 next year. And I know everybody won't play against every conference team twice anymore. It's going to be how many? Is it just 1 match with them, or is it going to be 2? It just all depends. We'll have to wait and see, because this is a weird year with 1 year of 14 teams in the conference for basketball here, and in every sport as well. I know not every team has every sport, but you get what I'm saying. A little more than it has been in the past, and then it's going to shrink down to 12 for some sports, while others could be a little bit less. So we're going to have to wait and see on this. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's give me 5 subscribers. We're on the road to it. Let's go.